Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I promised that I would do the Democrat debate winners and losers. So firsthand, we're going to start to look at this 538 article, analyzing the article, seeing if they're exactly on point here, which they usually aren't, or see exactly what their data shows, analyzing it, and then I'll give my take on the whole debate. So without further ado, this is the over and under performer section. This was before the debate, the favorability, and the debate performance. If people thought that the debate performance was bad, their favorability wasn't necessarily that different than their favorability before. For example, Gabbard was the least liked by likely primary voters. I'm assuming that has to do with media manipulation, and she was unfavorable, and people thought her debate performance was somewhat bad, and she fell below the curve. And if you fall below the curve, that necessarily means that your performance was worse than what they would expect it to be. People that had better performances than people expected were Amy Klobuchar, Andrew Yang, Pete Buttigieg, or as Styx likes to say, Buttigieg. Sanders was a little bit higher than what people's favorability rating of him was, and so was Warren. Biden's was exactly below his favorability. I'm assuming a lot of that has to do with him having a high favorability in the primary just due to name recognition, and I think a lot of that exactly shows here as you had the lower name candidates like Gabbard and Castro having much lower than people like Biden or Warren and Sanders in terms of favorability. But the number one big drop was Beta O'Cuck. He did do worse than what a lot of people would have expected, because every single time the guy comes up and he talks, he's just a cringe fest. I think a lot of people know it. I think a lot of people understand that, even within the Democrat ranks. So in terms of the pre-debate favorability and the debate performance, according to 538, everyone was actually better after the debate. That's expected, as a lot more people get to see the candidates at hand, but it really wasn't by much, just 1 to 2%. I think the biggest mover was Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg, and I'll talk about that later. I think Warren gained the most with the progressive crowd, and the only one to lose is Bernie Sanders, and I think a lot of it has to do with voter fatigue from 2016. Back then, he was just the anti-Hillary. Now he is a candidate that just is too out of place. He's just yelling at everything. He's just angry. The anger thing doesn't work anymore for Bernie Sanders, and I think a lot of people are just starting to realize that. And as we look at the data here, you can see this, that they've become a little bit more favorable after the debate, but not necessarily significantly, except for a few candidates, and I'll get to why here. Here's another take here, which matters most, policy or winning. After the debate, more people think that policy issues matter. That does indicate that the party is becoming more divided, and I do expect this to continue. A lot of Democrats are very complacent. Anyone can beat Trump, but some people disagree. When it comes to these issues, a lot more people think Pete Buttigieg is going to lose to Trump. Cory Booker, Beta O'Cuck, Amy Klobuchar, Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, Tom Steyer, and Julian Castro are all unfavorable in terms of losing to Donald Trump. Those really only show that Warren, Sanders, and Biden are the ones that are going to beat Trump. I don't see Bernie as a threat. He's very old. He's just very cringeworthy, and his plans are way too expensive. Warren is a little bit more likable because she has less rage, but then again, she shares a lot of the same plans. I don't see Warren beating Trump, but some in this poll seems to think that Biden can beat Trump. Biden did not have a very good debate performance, in my opinion. I don't think he was a winner of the debate when he's out there saying, we got to get rid of the capital gains tax. We have to raise the capital gains tax. We have to double the capital gains tax, all in one sentence. It's not a very good look for the guy. You almost feel bad for Biden. That's not what's going to get people to vote for you, is because I almost feel bad for him. I can't see Biden going and negotiating with Xi Jinping. I can't see any of these candidates doing that. I'm not even coming from a biased perspective when I say that. I have a lot more respect for Obama than I do all of the Democrats in this debate combined. It's just like a very big cringe fest. They keep getting worse. It's almost hilarious that every Republican in 2016 I would take over George W. Bush. Yet, even as looking at it from an unbiased perspective, I would take Barack Obama. And if I'm a Democrat, I would take Hillary Clinton over literally every candidate on that debate stage, even as bad as corrupt as she is, because that's how bad and cringeworthy this is. And I would not personally take Hillary over these people. I'm just saying, if I'm an unbiased Democrat primary voter, I'd literally would probably consider voting for Hillary Clinton over every single one of these candidates. And that's why I think she would go out there if she did run and she would win. I don't trust every little poll that comes out of a debate. Yes, their approvals will be a little bit higher because name recognition for all of them will be a little bit higher. That's really expected. Biden didn't significantly grow, and I'll tell you the people that did grow. The people that grew were the people that were out here attacking Warren on policy, the people that were out here attacking the far left Democrats on policy because they talked about how private insurance is liked by a lot of people. They talked about these issues, and I did gain a little bit of respect for Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar because they actually went out there and discussed these issues at hand, talked about real world issues in terms of keeping private insurance. Democrats usually at large don't want to do that, and the fact that they were out there and saying, oh, you can't, criticize you'll just say Republican talking point, this, that, and the other thing. I mean, that was kind of refreshing to hear. Now, obviously, I don't support any of these candidates, but also some other takeaways. Tom Steyer was virtually a non-factor. It was kind of cringeworthy. I don't know why he's on that debate stage. He really doesn't do anything. He doesn't add anything. He really doesn't have a chance to win. And it's very likely that this was the last debate for some of these people. Most likely to drop out. I think Tulsi will persist on a little bit. Julian Castro might drop out sooner than later. Looks like Cory Booker's in for at least another quarter of fundraising. But I really think that Bernie Sanders just needs to go. He's old news, and he just needs to pass the torch. Let Warren, let other people. Yang will get some of his vote from the young crowd. Probably Tulsi Gabbard in terms of the war stances. And everyone else was just left out of the debate. It was kind of hilarious, but it was just a cringeworthy debate to watch. They're talking about getting rid of private insurance, taxing churches. They're losing every last voter in this country. They're finding ways to lose. If Democrats just wanted to sit back there, act like, the 90s Democrats, Trump would have really no chance against them. But because they are what they are, it's kind of what's led to the rise of Trump to begin with. And that's why Donald Trump is winning. And that's why Donald Trump is the big winner of this Democrat debate. He will win because every time these people open up their mouths, the Republicans become more emboldened to vote, and the independents get a little bit less turned off by them when they look at their pocketbooks. And we'll analyze the Moody Analytics model for how the 2020 election will look. They will become more and more inclined to cast their ballot in 2020 for Donald Trump. So thanks everybody for watching. Please like this video, please comment down below, and please hit that big red subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Thanks everybody for watching. Red Eagle, out.